Hello, welcome to episode 88 of the Zeens and Roger Crochet Vlogcast. Hello, how are you? You alright? My name is Rosina and I am a crochet designer coming to you from the southwest of the UK. That's my usual blurb, done and dusted. Most of the time I forget to say it properly. You can find me all over the internet. I am on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest. I've got a blog where you can find free patterns, and I sell my designs on loads of different platforms as well. Ravelry, Etsy, Lovecrafts, and now Ribbler as well. But I'm learning that, don't know much about it yet, but I'll find out as I go. Hope you're alright. I feel out of practice. I think it's been about 3 weeks. About that. It's Tuesday, the something of April. When I get this out, it will either be Wednesday or Thursday. Won't be tonight. No way. No way. Hopefully tomorrow or Thursday, because I've got things that I would like you to know about before the end of the week, because I want you to know about them now. I've got my phone down on my sofa arm, and when I look down there it's because I'm looking at myself, because that's how I do know what's on the viewfinder. So if I'm ignoring you, I do apologise. Have you got crochet? Have you got knitting? Have you got whatever it is you're working on, so we can have a chat? I'm going to show you my finished object of the week, which I've just turned inside out, because I just wore it down to the post office because I was posting something, which I'll talk to you about in a minute as well. I have posted out a tester call, don't say that too fast, to the guys on Patreon, so that they have first dibs on whether or not they want to test this new cardigan, which I've just put lip gloss on. Curses! It's brand new. I think it went on the inside, so it's not too bad. I'm really sorry if it's like I'm shouting at you. My camera's much further away today, and it's because I'm fed up of it just being my face. I want it to be more of me. I don't know if I'm further away than normal or not, but it feels like the camera's much further away. So I have my new cardigan design finished. Would you like to test it? That's where I am at the moment. I think I'm ready very soon to test it. I've 95% done with writing up the pattern. It's just the half. I've started writing the sleeves. That's the last bit, but I haven't quite finished them. And then it will need to be tech edited as well. But I've written up the rules of testing as a thing. For if people are interested, they can read through that first and then decide whether or not they're still interested in testing. It looks scarier than it is because it's about 2 pages long, but it's as much detail and as much information as possible that I think would answer people's questions before they embark on a test. For testing, it would be helpful if you've made garments before or even tested before. And there are I'm just going to sit on my feet, sorry. There are 9 sizes, so I'm looking for testers across all those 9 sizes, maybe a couple for each size. What do you think? So as you can see, it has evolved from the previous cardigans I've made over the last 6 months, but I think I didn't want it to be faddy and too kind of now, in that, you know, oversized and boxy. I want it to last for years, like a pattern that you can make again and again, rather than just something that's fashionable now. So the fit is more classic. The fit is roomy without being boxy, although you could totally make it boxy by just going up a size. Yeah, I've used Paint Box worsted which is 200 meters per 100 grams. So if you wanted to test, it would be a yarn that's 200 metres to 100 grams, or I reckon how many, you could probably get away with give or take a few metres outside of that zone, couldn't you? I'm not sure, but nothing too crazy like a real standard double knit. It wouldn't work. This is just for, you know, a worsted, it's a worsted weight cardi. Yeah, so give us a shout if you would like to, if you'd like to test it. If that's something you're interested in, I'd be forever grateful. I'm really pleased with it. It's so much tidier than the other versions that if you've watched previous episodes of the podcast or seen my photographs on Instagram, you'll have seen before. My favourite feature is that it's seamless. So you work it in one piece. So there's no ugly join down here. I mean, I still have an ugly join at the sleeve. I'm just going to pose like this for a minute. But I like that it goes, I think it adds to the shape. It's flattering. Not sure how to pose for this one. Drop sleeve. And 3 buttons for the sizes 1 to 3. And then I thought, actually, as I was doing it, I was like, I could probably add 4 buttons to this. But I stuck with 3 for this size, which is size 3. And I am a size UK, well, with this bosom it's a 12. But if I didn't have these, then I'd be a 10. So if that gives you an idea of the fit. If you wanted to, you can make it longer. You could make the sleeves longer if you wanted to. I'm going to add options for that. I mean, when I say add options, it's literally just a sentence in the pattern to say, try this to make it longer. There's nothing stopping you from adding more stripes or knocking a stripe off to make a cropped version. Whoop. I'm not like mega cropped person though. No, but I haven't given quantities on how much yarn you would need if you wanted to make it longer. That would be up to you, playing around. But I really like the yarn. It's really nice, proper woolly yarn. Perhaps you might, if you were sensitive to woolly wool, then you might kind of find it itchy. I don't. But it's not like the softest, but it's a proper, like, traditional wool without being scratchy. But it is 100% wool, so it's not got that softness of acrylic. But I'm not the best person to ask about that, because I could probably put on the scratchiest jumper and not bat an eyelid. So, yeah. Anyway, I hope you like it. There have been many changes from the previous incarnations of it. Little tweaks here and there, just to make it the best it can be, and for me to be proud of it and me to go, yeah, I can release this as a design because this is good. That's what I want from my designs. I don't want them to be, oh, that'll do, it'll be fine, I'll get away with that. I want them to be proper and for them to look good when you make them too. I've done a video to accompany it, and then I've shared lots of links to my other videos that will help with the different techniques involved. So hopefully that will be a great help. It seems to be the way forward for designers. I think we are asked, a lot is asked of us in terms of what we provide. So no longer can you just bosh out a written pattern and expect to get away with it. There is a place for it, but if you want something to be popular or accessible, then you need to provide as much information as possible, and that includes videos. I'm not going to do it every time, but I think for a garment it's useful. I'm just trying to work out if that, like in the future when I release a pattern that doesn't have videos and stuff like that, I'm just going to have to eat my words. I'll try my best each time I do a design, but I can't always guarantee that I'm going to sort of give everything, because then you're setting a precedent, and then like if others come into the crochet design world and they're not doing that, then it's not fair to go, well, I think you'll find you need to provide all of these things if you're going to make it in this world. It doesn't seem fair. But I'm not going to talk about that any further because I think I'm digging myself a bit of a hole. I'm not sure, I'll have to think about it. Maybe sometimes I should think before I speak, because I'll get myself in trouble. I wore this down to the post office this morning. I felt really pleased walking down the street. I was like, I made this. I designed this. And then I thought I would show you what my green jumper looks like. Can you not get louder just because I get louder, please? Thank you. I talked about this last episode, but I wanted to show you what it looked like blocked. You may have to sort of watch that video again just to remind yourself. I still haven't sewn in all my ends. Cool. But I've worn it loads. It's a real jumper, which is what I wanted when I started like getting more serious about making garments. I wanted to make garments that you can wear all the time, and they are, I don't want to upset anybody, but you know, not handmade looking, which is, I just want, yeah, I want to be able to sort of wear my homemade items with pride, and this fits the bill. I love it. But, and the blocking of it has created a beautiful drape. This is Cascade 220, which is actually the same meterage as the paint box worsted. Cascade 220 superwash something or other, I don't know. So I don't know if you can tell, but it's a lot more kind of loose. It's longer by a couple of inches as well, which is great. Happy with that. It's still not like, it's not over long, but I think before it was sort of here, which is again fine if you're into cropped or whatever. But I could probably get away with about here, but I prefer a little bit extra length. And the sleeves, my goodness, yes, the sleeves. They're a little bit on the long side, but I can just about get away with that. I like a long sleeve, but probably it should sit here, not here. No pattern for this one, I'm afraid. If you watched last episode, you'll know I made it up. And I've got no intention of releasing it because there are about 3 existing jumpers of this ilk. They're there already, so I think it would be pointless of me to release my own version when, well, yes, is it over an oversaturated cowl neck lemon peel jumper market? Might be, mightn't it? Even though I love my version. And I'm very proud that I just sort of winged it, really. Although I think I look like my mum in this jumper. A little bit. Especially before it was blocked, it was a bit tighter. And if I was wearing this cowl and I looked down and all my jowls squished up, it was pretty much like my mum. So I was just like, maybe cowls don't quite suit me yet. Maybe I need to wait a bit. Another 10 years. I don't know. What do we reckon? Yes, I love it. I'm really pleased. I'm so pleased. Really happy with how the garment thing is going. And I've got another garment design up here. But, I've just put lipstick on my finger. I have a very important commission and another very important commission that I'm working on at the minute, so I can't do anything else until I get those done. But they both, progress on them has begun. Progress has begun? Work has begun on both of them, so they are progressing. One is due at the beginning of May, one is due at the end of May. And then I want to get that cardigan out at some point in May as well, so May's quite busy at the minute. What was I saying? I did say something. Oh, I'd been to the post office to post something. Well, I'll show you what I posted. I posted a set of cards I designed. Very exciting. Here we have some granny print cards. So basically they're greeting cards. I made them, they're mine, I made them, and then I got them printed and I put them for sale on Etsy. So I will leave a link in the show notes, and if you want to buy some, feel free to pop over to Etsy and get yourself some. So basically I painted some paint onto paper, and then I got my granny print stampy thing, painted it with black ink and splodged it onto the paintings I had done. This is the second version of a granny square print that I've done. The first version, it was a little bit basic, and I wanted a touch more detail in the granny square, so it was obviously a granny square, and it was kind of triggered by my mum, who I'd sent her sort of a rough version of the first version, and she didn't know what it was. And if she didn't know what it was, that meant it was not good enough, and so I had to do it again, and it's definitely more granny now. There's no mistaking. But yeah, so what they do is that I fold them up, I put an envelope in a little compostable plastic doodah, and then they are ready to go on Etsy. I sell them as sets. It works out cheaper to sell them as sets, but you could get them individually as well if you wanted to. But although I don't have a frame at the minute, I plan on framing one of mine and putting it up. I also have future ideas as well that I am already toying with, but not ready to share. But it's kind of addictive, just like playing with paints and doing something crochet related as well. I really like it. I want there to be more crochet related sort of merchandise and collectible good things for our favourite hobby. I like the fact that, I've got a couple of mugs, and I do like looking for prints to buy online, and that's what made me make these, is that I didn't find anything that I really wanted that would fit with my style. So it was a case of, I just make my own. And I think they've worked really well. I've got a design in Inside Crochet magazine, which I will show you. So there we go, a set all packaged up. That plastic pocket thing is not plastic, it is compostable. I'm not sure what it's made of though. I think it might be, is it potato starch normally, that sort of thing, isn't it? I should probably know, but I can't remember. We've got a patchwork issue of Inside Crochet magazine. Issue 134. Which is the loveliest, brightest, jolliest cover I've seen for a long time. I guess it's the time of year when we're in spring, so spring has sprung and everything is sort of full of beautiful flowery colours and stuff, so. I don't know why I showed you a picture of it. It's that right here. Oh my goodness, there's a really, really nice bag in here that I think is amazing. Not to mention that top is awesome. But there's a bag in here that I was so impressed with. And I started following the designer immediately because I wasn't aware of them beforehand. I don't know if you can see this that well though. Isn't that stunning? Get your fingers the right way around. It's beautiful, I love it. I will probably never get around to making it. Same page, there's a gorgeous blanket by Helder as well. I made one of Helder's recipes the other day, it was so nice. There's a nice article about crochet communities, and I got a name check down the bottom, which is good because of this podcast, and it's a community thing, and so everybody sort of it gets people chatting and gets people talking, and we share other things, and the lockdown has kind of made that more intense as well, in a good way. So that's a good issue. Here is the project that I have in it. If I show you like this, you might be thinking, what the blazes is that? It's corner to corner. The theme of the issue is patchwork, so this was my take on patchwork, and lo and behold, it's a hook case. So you fold it over, this is what I do anyway, fold it over, and then you can roll it up as you see fit. You fold over the top so your hooks don't come out. That's imperative. I remember in a book, like right when I first started crocheting, and I didn't know anything about it, I was following a pattern in a book, and for a crochet hook case, and it didn't have a flappy bit, so that even if you rolled, even if you rolled it up, your hooks would fall out the end. Not this one though, because I've created a flap, which I think is very important. And then you tie it together with the ribbons that I just sewed in when I sewed on the lining. However, my ribbon stash is running a bit low. That's not true, I've got loads of ribbons, but I didn't have anything that was perfect for this. I think probably I would choose a wider ribbon, and maybe not a Saturday finish one if I was doing it again. But yeah, I love crochet hook cases. I've got 3 now. Yeah. Best way to store hooks, if you ask me. It's so easy to find them all because they've all got their own little compartments. I don't know if I'll use this one though because it's a sample. I like to use my fabric one that I made, which is the same but different. It's the same but just with like a crochet backing attached to it really. And I used Rick Rack for my ties, which is great actually because it doesn't come undone very easily, but when I pressed it I remember melting the first lot, so I had to unpick and do it again because this Rick Rack apparently is made of plastic. Where are we? We're April. For the first time in months I saw some of my family the other day and we shared Christmas gifts in April. And I just thought I would share with you the little project bag notions pouch that my sister made me. Isn't that cute? You know, was it called free motion embroidery, freehand embroidery? Can't remember now. On a sewing machine, you've got a special foot where you can just freely draw with the thread. She's done a granny square. I think that's awesome. I don't know if she'll want me showing you, but it's cool. I like the lining as well. It's good lining. Zigzaggy chevron. Yeah. See, wouldn't it be great if the world had more crochet merchandise in it? Okay. I don't know where I am now. Let me consult my notes. I've just forgotten I'm still wearing my jumper. I thought I was too hot but it's like a second skin. Oh, I've got a couple of whips to talk about, and I've got some yarn here as well. I'm going to wait, I've got loads of yarn that I could show you, but I'm going to wait until the next episode, because what I want to do is work on it, work with it to create my next jumper, sweater project. So I don't want to show you yet, because what happens if I try this idea and then it all goes wrong. So I'll wait. But I do have just one teeny tiny skein of yarn, but it's worth it because it's a good one. And then I've written in my notes, the other thing is that, oh, and by the way, I wanted to say casually, put it in casually somewhere, but this is just like a really blunt shoving in a random place in the podcast, is that I'm no longer a King Cole ambassador. They stopped their ambassadorship. I don't quite know why, but I guess it was sort of just naturally came to an end. Yeah, that's not a thing anymore. I still have some of their yarn, so I will still be using their yarn in projects, but yeah, that's not a thing anymore. So yeah, just thought I'd drop that in case you might sort of, I don't know, be thinking about it all the time, like, oh, that Rosina, yeah, she's King Cole ambassador. Well, no more. Yeah, that's come to an end. Let me get my yarn out for... Yeah, I am actually saving some other things until the next episode, because I don't want to talk about everything today, because I'm not quite there with how things are, but I'm getting there. What am I looking for? I'm looking for that, I'm looking for that. Oh, by the way, another segue that's just popped into my head. On Saturday, that's the 24th of April, hopefully this will be out by then, the Granite tier on Patreon, we are getting together for our monthly Zoom chat. I know Jackie won't be involved because he'll be downstairs and I'll probably take the laptop upstairs to do the Zoom chat. So apologies for those that wanted to meet Jackie. He's not that interesting, he's just a green budgie. Quite an aggressive green budgie. So yeah, 24th for the Granite tier patrons. I will leave a link to Patreon. If you wish to become a patron, that would be marvellous. There are 3 tiers, and they will have lots of different things going on, so do go and have a look if you're curious. Even if you didn't sort of think, whatever, no. Just go and click and have a read and then tell your friends. Maybe they would like to become a patron of Zeens and Roger. I don't know. So I have been sent some yarn and I'm going to tell you about it because otherwise I will have no yarn to show you whatsoever, but it is this scrummy, yummy Alpaca Supreme, and it's a heavy lace weight from John Arbon Textiles. And they have sent me this 50-gram skein so that I can have a play with it. I've been talking to Sonia from John Arbon Textiles, and she would very much like me to come up with a design using this. I'm under no pressure, and I can sort of do it whenever I like. I do have an idea for it, but I just need to find a window of opportunity. This is beautiful, really nice. And so it should be, because it's 40% superfine alpaca, 40% organically farmed Falklands merino, and 20% A1 mulberry silk. I'll need to Google what the A1 means because I'm not sure. But this is 50 grams and it will go far because it's lace weight. But I've been out. It's been maybe 2 hours since I was last talking. And the camera ran out of battery, so I've had to put it on charge and then disappear for a couple of hours to give it a chance to get more life. I was talking about the alpaca silk but I can't remember where I got. Other than that, it is a heavy lace weight. I've got 50 grams here, and I almost certainly, for the project I have in mind, need more. But what I will do with this is have a play and work out if the design I have in mind will look good in this yarn. I do feel better actually. I've been out for a 5-mile walk or so, and yeah, I had a headache before, so I feel better now. Basically, I met up with a friend and we've walked all around town, on the outskirts, so basically through the countryside, not just through the streets in town. And it's a beautiful day, which is why I'm wearing sunglasses. It's so nice, especially after last week where we had, I mean, I was scraping ice off my car last week and it was snowing in places. We have seen the snow in the last couple of weeks. Over Easter it was snowy. We went to the beach one day and it snowed. It's ridiculous. And there was, in the same trip, I had taken my coat off because it was so warm, and then all of a sudden these clouds came over, it went really cold and then started snowing. What I could have done is just given up and gone, oh well, that's enough of podcast material, I'll just edit together what I've got and then that'll be enough. But I don't want to leave it there because I've got a couple of works in progress I want to show off. And you know, I want to say thank you and goodbye and all of that too. But blah 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 blah. I suppose I should also say these are the colours that that Alpaca Supreme comes in. It comes in a 4-ply and a lace yarn. So I do have a lot of these little sample bits of yarn are actually the sport weight, which is probably the same the same yardage as the Yarnadelic, but a bit more swish. Perhaps I should just give up on trying to hold that up to the screen. La 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 la. Can't wait to use it. I'm really looking forward to that. Okay, so onto my whips. I have 2 and they're the same thing. I started one in a very uniform fashion and I was just like, I want something a bit more higgledy-piggledy please. And so I also started a mishmash version. You alright, Jack? He's pecking his mirror. He's talking to himself. So I'll show you the version I started first. This is the Granny Go Round. The Granny Go Round by Iron Lamb. So I got this far, and whilst actually, do you know, I think it's a really good colour combination. I definitely wanted the jazziness of Random. I want to complete both. I started as well changing colour in the pattern, just says change colour, so I think it says fasten off or something, so I did. But actually, if you want to, you can keep them all and just carry the yarn. I guess it depends on how many tangles you want. I don't mind a tangle. So it's not as if I've got very far. But also I thought, gosh, that's a high neck for me. I like something with a bit more, especially because this is going to have a collar, a neck band, a neck collar, neck ribbing on it. And I felt like it was a little bit close. And so I did some jiggery pokery with the next one to make it a bit looser, I think. Oh, I've done the other one. So we're here. I hope it fits alright, because the jiggery pokery that I have done means that I've no idea, I haven't really looked, compared what size my count of clusters is compared to the sizes. I did decide to go off piece, and as you can see I've already done the ribbing for this one. But I did it so that the neck was slightly wider, so actually it's probably about the same as this is where the top clusters would have started on that one, if that makes sense. I haven't explained it very well, but I've got as much room with this that has a collar on it as I do with that one that doesn't. So it's better for me. I've got more neck space. I would prefer maybe a bit more, but actually if you've got too much it would probably fall off my shoulder, and then I'd get annoyed with it. You know, I'm hard to please. I don't deny that. So this is, yeah, random stash busting version of it, but I have not worked on it for at least 3 weeks because I've been trying to smash out that cardigan pattern and the commissions, whereas this is my fun project. But I really would like to, if I had enough yarn as well, I'd make it into a jumper dress. Going into the wrong season for that entirely, but so it's the Granny Go Round jumper by Claudine of Iron Lamb, and I'm sure you've seen it because loads of people are making it because it's really popular. And that's because Granny is popular, even though some people stick their noses up at Granny or dislike it, either because it's overdone or just because they like something a bit more modern or a bit more, I can't think of a word without being derogatory to the Granny, and that's not fair because I'd never do that. Anyway, that's by the by. I want to be able to pick this up and make it. This one I want to make. This one sort of sat there going, you want to work on me, you want to work on me, pick me up and work on me. And I'm like, I can't, I've got work to do. Whereas this one is a bit like, oh yeah, it'll look nice. When it's done it'll look nice. But I don't know if I'm just like in love with it. I'm appreciative of the colours, but I'm not in love with the... Stylecraft is in there. Definitely Stylecraft, but also this is from Aldi. I don't know if that's, I think the rest is Stylecraft and just the grey is Aldi, I think. I definitely want to work on this one with all of these colours. Possibly bring some more colours in as well, because I can see some of those running out before I get to... I could make a jumper out of it, but whether or not I could do the jumper dress is another matter entirely. I don't know if I said another matter entirely. So, you know, one of those things where you keep saying it. I think that's pretty much everything that I had planned to talk about today. The next job I've got to do is I'm going to sit down and do those sleeves whilst this video uploads. But I've also taken some photographs of the green jumper that I'd like to go through. I've got maybe 10 good ones, so I'll have to decide which one to use in the blog pics for this, for the show notes. But also I think actually a couple of them may be good enough for like a new headshot or something, because I'm getting a bit fed up of using the same old ones. The things you've got to think about. What's next? Yes, as I said, I am working on 2 commissions that are both real cool. One you know about already, and that's the Morit commission. That's due in soon, so I need to get cracking on that. And then the other one was a bit of a surprise, out of the blue email asking me if I would like to do this commission for a project. And like I said, the deadline is May, but only for ideas. So after that, I think I've got, you know, it will still go ahead, but I just need to sort of work on swatches and stuff before I begin it in earnest after I finished the Morit project. I almost said what it was going to be then. But I'm really looking forward to both, like, well, I've started on both, but I'm looking forward to them being, like, to seeing them out there and stuff like that. They're both really good things that I'm very pleased about. And then, yeah, and then a new jumper design. I've been thinking about it, it's been in my head, and I've been planning the construction of it for ages, and it's always like a really exciting thing. Sometimes you'll go, I really want it to look like such and such, and you'll come up with a conundrum and you'll wonder how on earth you'll actually translate your vision into a physical stitch and a physical pattern. And then when you sort of at some point have that light bulb moment, it's really pleasing. But then you've actually got to do the hard work, and then you get frustrated, then you get delighted, then you get frightened, and then you get delighted again and excited, and then despair sets in because of whatever reason, and then you finish it and then you go, ah. Oh, I thought of something else then, forgotten. Instantly forgotten. Something's gone in and out of my brain. I'm just looking at my list of things that I want to do. A lot of it involves some editing of bits and bobs, like photos and patterns. Oh, I remember. I know what I was thinking about. What went in and out of my head, and that's a bag I want to do. And the reason I thought about it is because I can see some bag handles over there that I want to use for a new market bag. But oh god, when I get time to do that, I don't know. It might have to be an evening project when other things are day projects. I want to do it all. It's a problem. There's only one of me. I'll get there in the end, won't I? Get there in the end. Things like newsletter. I should probably set up a newsletter, but I've talked about that last time, so I'm not going to go there again. It's just nothing has moved on since last time. So right, I think that's all. I would say that's all. So thank you very much for watching. If you want to buy me a coffee, feel free to do so. I will leave a link below. Same if you want to join the Patreon gang, you'd be most welcome. Check out my patterns and whatnot. I'll put all the links to everything below. Or at least, you know, the usual blog post link, so that the show notes are all on my blog, along with photographs that you can peruse at your leisure. I've got 50 minutes until it's school pickup time, so I'm going to do 50 minutes of computering. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you're okay. Leave a comment down below, let me know what you are getting up to, in life in general, or your crafting related projects. I'd love to hear from you, and yeah, I will see you again next time. I don't know when that'll be. I know my episodes are more sporadic than they used to be. It's a case of as and when I can do it. I want to do, did I say already? I can't remember. I want to do a whip video for Patreons as well as the Zoom live. I want to do a video, pre-recorded video of the whip cupboard. So I've just created a whip cupboard over there. And I was toying with that being a live as well, a live thing, so we could just chat and people could like ask questions about the work that I drag out of the cupboard, rather than me just assuming what people want to know. they could actually ask. And the other thing as well, I don't know if you wanted to do a Q&A type thing as well, maybe the next podcast. I could answer some of your questions if you had any, and I can save them for the end, and we can go through those. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I hope you're okay. World is a funny old place. Yes, hugs and kisses to you. I will see you again soon. Bye bye.